Anin, Boujou. My name is Jill Hodges. Kristen Arola is my daughter. She asked me to tell you a little bit about my regalia, which is a jingle dress, and how and why I put that together in the ways that I did. My Ojibwa name is Wabishkote Gijek, and welcome to my home, and I will explain to you a little bit about the jingle dress. I was talked into dancing. I thought maybe I would just be a watcher and not a participant, but I had friends who thought that I really needed to dance. And my choices were either a traditional dancer, you usually see them possibly dressed in buckskin, or a jingle dress dancer. The fancy dancers are more for the younger girls, and there was no way that I would even attempt to do that. So I chose the jingle dress. When I was determining what sort of dancer I should be, I realized that the jingle dress dancer was most likely what I should do because it carries a lot of responsibility. When you do dance in a jingle dress, you are often asked to pray for people. And many people would come up to me and hand me a pouch of tobacco and ask me to pray for a loved one, someone who was ill, someone who was going through a bad time. And I thought that that was something that I could do. And so that's why I chose to be a jingle dress dancer. So let's take a look at my regalia. When I determined that I wanted to become a jingle dress dancer, I started really paying attention at powwows to see how the different dancers had constructed their dresses. Many of the women had all of the cones on one dress. As you can see, my cones are spread out in a couple of different places here, 3 actually. I have a main dress, and there's cones at the bottom. I have a you could say it's like a bib, but it goes around my waist, and there's a front and a back to it. 2 pieces, 2 panels, and it's very, very heavy. And the reason that I did it this way was I could take it off for 2 reasons. One, I could take it off to sit down or just lift up that back panel to sit down, because if all the cones were on the dress, you can't sit down. Number 2, it's much easier to go to the bathroom. Why did I choose the colors that I did? I knew it had to be basically black for the dress. Maybe black is my favorite color, I'm not sure, but I just knew it had to be black. I chose the yellow and the red and the turquoise to accent it. Now, this has to do with the 4 directions, and has to do with a medicine wheel. I hand beaded a medicine wheel in the center of my top that goes around my neck. And as you see, there's yellow for the east, red for the south, black for the west, and white for the north. And I put a bear in the center because the bear is our Doden, our clan. Mukwa is the name for bear, so that is why the bear is in the center. Now the yellow signifies the morning sun, the red signifies the warmth of the south, and the black signifies the west, which sometimes is talked about as death, the ending of this current life as you move on into the next life. And the white is the north. It's cold in the north. I can attest to that today. I live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan on Lake Superior. So that is why I chose the colors that I did. I'll tell you a little bit more about that beadwork on the neck piece. And it is of the medicine wheel, like I said. I have the matching tattoo on my arm. And it's way up high at the top of my arm. And I wanted it to match. Nobody can see that other than when I dance in the summer with a sleeveless top on. But I know it matches. and the tattoo was put in place to honor my father. Long story that I'm not going to go into now. I was asked if I rolled these cones myself or if I purchased them in this way. I did purchase them this way. Of all the jingle dress dancers that I've known, I don't know any that have rolled their own. These used to be tobacco lids at one time because they held the tobacco, and that's a sacred herb. But I bought them in a bag from a store in Escanaba, Michigan. It's a native trading store. So I did not roll my own. The bag that I carry with me, that I carry tobacco in when I'm dancing, looks like beadwork, but it's not. The reason it's not, I didn't have time. And so what I did was I used fabric paint. It was very quick to do. Put a Thunderbird on the front, and I put some ojibwa flowers on the back. My goal was always to make that with beadwork, but I never did. I also have my moccasins. Did I make them myself? No, I did not. They are made by the wonderful company called Minnetonka. They really don't have much in the way of support, but they work well. And I always did want to bead the toes of those. Never got around to that yet either.